What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about floor protection, and specifically we have the Mohawk multi-purpose mat from Costco, and it's called MEGAMAT, or is it MEGANOT? So currently I have a piece of the MEGAMAT half-inch rubber mat here, and prior to this one I actually have most of my whole floor plan covered with it. Something happened and I ended up going back to Tractor Supply's 3/4 thick mats, but let's talk about this one. This mat is made out of recycled rubber, which is mostly the same as what we are using for horse stall mats. It is 3 feet by 4 feet, and it's about half-inch thick as compared to the Tractor Supply's 3/4 inches. Advantage of this one, it's very lightweight. I think it's about 25-30 pounds, so it's easy to move around. I didn't have trouble getting it from Costco. The other thing is it's the cost. The cost is about 18 bucks with tax. It's about $20. The only thing though is I think in California that's the price. In other states I saw it around 14 to 15 bucks. And the other advantage of the MEGAMAT is actually the smell. I know that when I had it, it took only a day for the smell to go into it, and it wasn't as bad as this Tractor Supply ones, which has already been in my garage for almost 3 weeks, and it's still giving off that smell, despite me applying chemicals on it like Greenworks and Pine Sol. As I mentioned earlier, I had about 25 to 30 pieces of MEGAMATs around the gym, and it was doing okay until I started moving all of my gym equipment. As you can see, I have lots of plate loaded machines here and some stack machines. Trouble started when I moved things around. The first thing that I noticed was the misalignment that would happen if you try to move one equipment across the laid mats. One of them would actually shift away from a perfectly aligned mat, and it would either overlap or it would actually just pull away. I know that you would recommend taping, but that is something that I don't like to do because over time it gets messier. They say under tape would happen, or even using those little I think clamps that you can place under, but remember this is a half-inch mat, and this could be trouble because I have kids running around the gym as well, and I don't want to risk that. So over time, I designed the gym to be a mixture of a few MEGAMATs and then the Tractor Supply ones. And the way it was laid out initially was that I had 4 of these 4x6 Tractor Supply mats, and then on the edge here where I have most of my stack machines, I placed in the MEGAMATs because I could settle the whole thing here and not move them around because they're heavy. They pretty much remain on the real estate here permanently unless I sell and get new things. And over time that worked because things were just in place. However, 2 things I've noticed that kind of annoyed me. The first one is actually the misalignment itself. It becomes a little bit trickier when you want to rearrange the gym. A slight elevation over that one when you try to move this with caster wheels, it becomes a little bit difficult, especially if your weight stack is over 200. And that became challenging. Um, the second one is, again, it still moves. Every time you try to, you know, do a an exercise on the stack machine, there is still that tendency of it to move with the machine, and then it becomes annoying because the separation on the floor now is, you know, the gap becomes bigger. So aesthetically, it's not pleasing, and then it also starts creating all these gaps where dirt would start forming in. Another advantage of this mat, it's lightweight, it's easy to clean, it's easy to move around. But here's the tricky part. If you don't tape it, it could easily fly off. And that becomes a problem when I use this for cleaning every day in the gym. So as you can see, this is the only remaining mat that I have, and it's actually gonna stay here because this cabinet is not gonna go anywhere. As for the durability, I think it's durable. There's a channel called Iron Council, and he did drop a dumbbell on it, which seemed okay. I personally don't drop my dumbbells, but I do deadlifts in this garage. On that note, when I did my deadlifts with the MEGAMAT, kind of made me cringe a little bit because of the half-inch thickness compared to the tractor supply mat. So I think the best advice there would be, if you have an extra mat, an extra layer of MEGAMAT, I'd double it. Just, and again, this is me. It just feels like the floor was cracking when I was deadlifting over 300 pounds on it. So could vary. And that's it for the review of this Mohawk multipurpose mat, aka MEGAMAT 3 by 4 inches floor protector. Again, it has its place. If you have gym equipment that are permanent, they're not going to move around, you don't plan to rearrange your equipment from time to time, I think it's good. Layer that with the protection of the tape if you like taping, or under carpet taping. If you have heavy gym equipments, I'd advise you to go for the Tractor Supply or the Home Depot one, because I guess the Home Depot one is actually less smellier than the Tractor Supply. That's what I read from Reddit. So that's another thing that you can look into. And once again, thank you for visiting my channel. Hope this review helped you decide on your flooring. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.